What if Deku was a demigod? This will take place in God of War universe, but instead of Kratos killing Zeus, he just wounds him very badly. Kratos still thinks that he's dead, so he goes to Midgard, and Zeus goes into a coma for a few thousand years. He wakes up to see mankind not needing him, so he just stays on Mount Olympus and watches over him. Then he sees Inko, and he goes down and talks to her, and they fall in love and lovey-dovey and all that. He tells Inko that he's a god, and Inko doesn't believe him, and he actually proves it and takes her to Mount Olympus and shows her everything. And they go back, and she tells him that why did you do all that stuff and why, and he says that he was not in the right mind and stuff like that, and something possessed him. And well, they both like stay on Earth for a very long time, and they have Izuku. Izuku's born, and well, at birth the doctor said that he was very strong because they kind of got a hard time holding him down to wrap him up and give him to Inko. Well, one of the doctors says that he's destined for greatness, to be a great hero. We're gonna skip to when Deku's 5 at the Quirk Doctor. The Quirk Doctor says this is impossible and he shouldn't have these powers. And Inko is like, what do you mean? And the Quirk Doctor says that his body is just like a regular human, but he has powers, so we don't understand how he has them. But these are the powers he has. He has super strength, super speed, lightning bolts, and super regeneration, and even weather control. Inko asks, what's weather control? He says that when Izuku gets happy, it's sunny, but when he gets mad, it starts storming and stuff. But when he gets scared, it starts clouding and fogs and stuff comes out. And Inko says, alright, and then the next day, Deku goes to school and sees Bakugo. Bakugo shows off his quirk, and then Deku does, and everyone's like, wow. And Bakugo taking a little bit like offense, like that he's not the best. So, and not like canon, he's not gonna have that like I'm the best attitude. More in this one, he's more like, oh, I need to surpass Deku. And Bakugo and Deku grows up to be rivals, really. And on the day of the sludge villain happens, well, Deku actually gets caught in it, because how is he gonna fight? It's slime. He does try to electrocute it, but it actually overpowers him, and All Might comes and saves him. And Deku actually doesn't ask All Might that if he could be a hero, so that doesn't... Just for plot, I'm gonna say that All Might actually drops the sludge. Then Deku's walking home, just on his phone, walking home, watching some videos. Then he hears an explosion, and then he runs, because he only knows one person that has an exploding quirk, Bakugo. So he runs and he sees the sludge villain. So he gets mad. He sees the sludge villain holding on his best friend, so he gets mad, and thunder starts starts coming down and lightning and stuff, and Bakugo knows what's happening, so he actually says that you fucked up. And then the sludge villain like, what do you mean? And then Deku comes out the crowd having like, see how the picture is? He's sort of like that, like white eyes. He just pissed, and then he goes and grabs Bakugo out of the sludge and electrocutes the sludge villain till he's like knocked out. And then the heroes pick up the sludge villain, and the heroes scold Deku for using his power against the villain, and he should have just waited for backup and all that stuff about him shouldn't be using his power in public and stuff like that. And Bakugo was like, yeah, what's up, man? And like talking to him, and Deku was like, yeah, sorry I couldn't like save you sooner. And Bakugo starts laughing and says, you lucky that I was in there. If it was anyone else, they would have been dead. Like, you know me, man. And Deku was like, yeah, you really are a fighter, and you won't even go down. Actually, that slug villain actually attacked me not too long ago. And Bakugo was like, what? Like, what happened? Why didn't you take him down? And Deku was like, oh, I was trying to, but I kind of got overpowered by him because he was closer than me, and, you know, he's slowed, so I couldn't, like, fight him fist to fist. And Bakugo was like, yeah. And then, so who saved you? And I was like, and then Deku was like, All Might. And Bakugo was like, what, you meant All Might? And Deku was like, yeah. He signed my notebook, and then I left because I didn't want to bother him. And then Bakugo and Deku is walking home. Bakugo gets, like, he leads first, and actually when they actually split up, All Might runs and goes up to Deku and, like, asks him, what's your power, and do you want to train with me? And Deku was like, yeah, I'll train with you, and my power is a lot, so I'll tell you when we start training. And the next day, Deku goes to the beach and actually brings Bakugo. And Bakugo's not believing him that All Might asked him to train. Asked both of them to train, and then All Might's there, and he was like, oh, young Izuku or young Midoriya, however you want to say it. I'm calling him Deku. He was like, young with Deku, and he was like, oh, who's this? And Deku was like, this is my friend, can you train with us? And he was like, yes. And they're training and stuff, and then Deku actually tells All Might his powers, that he has super regeneration, super speed, super strength, and all that stuff, that he could change the weather and stuff like that. Bakugo says that he has explosions, and that Deku is just a big show off and stuff like that. All Might actually tells Deku to take his quirk and all about it, but Deku denies and tells him that he should give it to Bakugo, because Bakugo has a fighting heart and he deserves to be more powerful, and I believe in him that he could be the #1 hero. And All Might believes him because he does know that Bakugo is like a good candidate, but he just have anger issues, so he didn't think of it first. But then he does give it to Bakugo. Bakugo accepts it, and trains, and then actually Deku actually tells him that he should spread the power throughout his body. Bakugo listens, and he actually does do this, and he gets full Cowling, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it full Cowling. And well, he starts training with this, and he actually really gets it. So he gets like 5% of One For All on the end of like the 10 months training. And then on the day of the, I forgot what it's called, the robot test thingy, the beginning test, I forgot what it's called, but Deku and Bakugo, they go to different places, because if they did go to the same robot field, there wouldn't be any robots for anyone else. And well, Deku just beating up robots. He already got a lot of points from the beginning, so he just walking around, looking around, seeing if anyone needs help. And he just walking around, and he has a ground shake, and it's the 0 pointer. He sees it, and he's like, oh, I could take it down to show off, but I'm not gonna be that guy today. And then he walks around, and then he hears a scream, and it's Uraraka. And he looks around, and he sees that she's gonna get hurt. And he actually just, his instincts just like go, and just runs up and smashes the robot, like smashes it. It looks like a pancake before and after. Before, it looked like a giant robot that no one would mess with. After, it looks like a pile of metal. And he picks up Uraraka, like lady style, picking her up. And he walks to the nurse lady. I forgot her name. She heals Uraraka, and Deku actually walks away before Uraraka could thank him or anything. And he actually goes and he runs to the site that Bakugo's in and see if they're finished. And they finished already. And Bakugo actually got the highest over there, but he didn't get first place though. Deku got first place just by 1 point. And this is where I'm gonna leave off, okay? Bye.